Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Nerds and a Podcast. Today we are continuing on our The Boys train. Casey finally finished Gen V.
Woo!
Yeah, woo! For all of you who don't know, Gen V is the spin-off series of The Boys. It does take place immediately after season 3 ends, but it is supposed to be also happening simultaneously. Gen V focuses on a bunch of college-aged superheroes. We learn some deep, dark secrets. We learn some interesting new powers. And as per usual, there's a lot of blood and a lot of sex.
Yes, lots
So,
of blood and lots of drugs, lots of
yes,
sex, lots of
drugs. Yeah,
yes.
it's goes with the college territory. So Casey, what was your overall thoughts for the show? Like, did you
So
like it?
I liked it. I definitely like The Boys, the main series, better.
Same.
But I do like that I like that it is like a spin-off, but it is taking place at the same time as The Boys, so you get like the crossover and everything.
Yeah.
Um I will say I feel like there's a lot more like uncomfortable talk. Like I guess it's a lot more like woke than like The Boys, cuz there's a
Yeah.
lot of like
It's a lot more political for sure,
yeah, it's
too.
definitely a lot more like political, which like it's not like terrible,
No,
but
like, it's warranted, but it's just, like,
yeah.
it's more political than The Boys.
Yeah, and I definitely like The Boys better.
Mhm.
Um, but I liked it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was very bloody and gory, and which I
Yes.
love. I do have a question for you.
Okay.
As somebody who went to college, went to
Yes.
university,
Uh.
do you think that this accurately
Okay, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there right now. I went to a in retrospect, a very small college. I did live on campus all 4 years, and I'm telling you right now, their dorm room was so nice. I mean, it is like it's just two people, whereas all of my dorm rooms were more apartment styled. So I think the least amount of roommates I ever had was 3, so there was always 4 of
Ooh.
us, but in like 2 bedrooms, right?
Mhm.
So theirs was really nice. Also, I know this is the most random thing to pick up on, but the way their storage underneath their beds worked, like that was just satisfying to my brain, and I wish like our beds were like that in college. Again, very random, I know. Um I would say as far as kind of like the social interaction between the college kids, minus the superhero stuff, but I feel like that was very accurate. And also the very prominent theme of wanting to fit in, but also wanting to keep to yourself. I feel like is a big thing in college as well. I feel like that's just a big thing in life, but college in particular, because you're trying to leave everything in your past behind, but you can't because you're you, and it's a very important part of every person. But you
Mhm.
also want to like strive to be better. I do think that also when Marie shows up for one of her classes and she gets like asked to leave in the middle or whatever. I can't remember what the actual situation was, but they like basically like kicked her out kind of stuff. Like that's very accurate to college in general. I had several professors that like if you were like they would lock the door when class started. So if you were late, you couldn't come to class and you missed a class. And I've had things where if they didn't like your attitude or they didn't think you belong there, they would ask you to leave and never come back. So that was very accurate to college life. Um, the snowball fight in the hallway, on the other hand, not accurate. It
Not
would have
not
been
as
really
accurate.
cool though. But
You're
I
like,
will
"Man, why
say
didn't we have that?"
I know, right? But I will say the kind of like like that would be like a stupid thing that a bunch of guys would do in the hallway. 100% accurate. All college guys, especially in the dorms, act like that. They're always throwing footballs in the hallway or doing stuff, and I'm just like, can I get into my dorm, please? Because I don't want to
Right.
deal with this right
Can you
now.
move?
Yeah, can you get out of my way? Thank you. Um, but yeah, so it was a very, I would say, realistic college depiction. It's not the experience that I had in particular, but it's definitely, I can see like what aspects came from
Where they
that. I feel like if
pulled aspects
I feel
from
like
it.
if you went to a very big university, because I just went to California State University, the newest one, so still very small. But if you went to like, I imagine any of like the University of Californias, which are big and old schools, probably very
Like
accurate.
UCLA, probably.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
pretty crazy over there.
Yeah, like I had friends that went to bigger universities, and there'd be parties at like 3 a.m. and people running down the halls and stuff like that. So it was definitely more on the realistic side of a university depiction. So uh thumbs up for that.
Good job. Good job, Amazon.
Yeah. Amazon keeping it real.
But yeah, no, I really did like this show. I like that the kind of like main characters, like the
Mhm.
main college kids were kind of like the underdogs, whereas
Mhm.
like I feel like in The Boys, they focus a lot on like Homelander, who's like this big, strong superhero, and
Mhm.
Billy and all of that. And I like that they kind of in this one that they like Marie and the other Andre, is that his name?
Andre. Mhm.
Her, yeah. That they kind of work together, and then you got that one bitch that I'm really bad with names. Let me look.
That's okay. I have IMBD open specifically for character names because I never remember.
Let's see. So we got Marie. Yeah, Marie's the
Mm-hmm.
main character.
Mm-hmm. Which the actress who plays her,
Oh,
Jazz
Kate.
Sinclair, I love her. Like, I feel like she was a very good pick to be the lead of the show because she's like a strong actress, but she's also like
Mhm.
super chill. So I didn't feel like I feel like if we were thrown into the universe of the boys, and particularly Gen V, like she'd be somebody like I'd have in my class and I'd know who she was and we might even be
Mhm.
friends. Like she's not so souped up that you can't relate to her or you'd be like, yeah, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Like she's easy to kind of hold on to and to follow her journey.
Yeah, I agree. I also I my one of my favorite characters was Sam. I felt so bad for him, and
Oh, our sweet
he's
baby
just such a sweet. I
boy.
know he's just such a sweet baby, and I was like, "Oh, I want him I just want him to be happy in the
I just
end."
want to give him a little cuddle and tell him it's gonna be okay. Yeah, he was so sweet. I liked his and Emma's relationship, like how they cared for each other. And I do like the fact that it was romantic, but they were so sweet with each other, which is
Yeah.
adorable.
And like you could tell that they definitely like cared about each other so much even with all the crazy shit happening.
Mhm. And they cared about like them the person, not them the superhero, which
Yeah.
is refreshing cuz sometimes I feel like they care about like what they can do for each other and not literally like I just care about you as a person. So super sweet relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I also didn't really care like I liked I liked Emma as a
Mhm.
character,
Mhm.
but like her not that I like didn't care for her like story or like backstory line, but I was like it's a little like that's where when I was saying it's like a lot more like woke and there's a lot more like uncomfortable topics.
Mhm.
Like, there's definitely like, that was one of them because she like, her superpower is that she if you haven't watched it, if you haven't watched it, I don't know why you're this far in.
Yeah.
Um,
Go
but
watch it.
she yeah, she can shrink down in size, but she makes herself throw up to do so.
Mhm.
and then she can also make herself bigger by eating more food.
By
So
eating more,
she's
yeah.
been like, yeah, so she's been on this like having to stay in this middle ground. And I liked her as a character, but I was like, I don't really care for this like storyline that much.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a couple details that they could have made different. Honestly though, for her in particular, I was surprised that nobody knew that she had to throw up to get small.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really surprised she was able to keep that secret for so long because she has a YouTube channel where she wrestles things as a small, tiny person. And you would think with kind of quote unquote fame like that, like something as socially devastating as having a quote unquote eating disorder. It's not a disorder, it's just how she uses her superpowers. Would get out very quickly. And I mean, in the show, somebody posts on the internet that
Mhm.
that's how it happens. And so we do see how that takes a toll on her and how people look at her.
Yeah, yeah. It's also, but like you would think that somebody would notice, because you're like, oh yeah, I'll be right back, and then like you're small. And she said like
Yeah.
sometimes it would take a while, so it's like, what's she doing in there all that time?
Yeah, especially because one of my favorite parts that I found very hilarious is when she's hooking up with that guy in the beginning, and he finds it like a sexual thing for her to be tiny, right? So you could tell it's not the first time she's had to do that. So I'm honestly
Oh,
surprised
absolutely.
nobody she's ever been with has ever like exposed her as like a negative thing, or like because
Mhm.
she wouldn't do it again and they'd be like, fine, I'll tell everybody. Like, I'm surprised nobody had done that to her at that point. Because based on that one guy she hooked up with, she does not have good taste in men
Yeah,
or just
yeah.
partners in general. So I was surprised that that particular secret for her didn't come out. But I do like the practical set of her hooking up with that guy, and she's just a tiny little girl bouncing on a life-size dildo.
That is such a fun like random fact, and
I
it's
That's the
just
one thing I love about The Boys is the most random stuff is practical, and I'm just like, I want to know whoever has to build those things or make them. Like when you come home at the end of the day and your partner goes, "Hey, how was your day?" And you go, "You know what? It was great. I had to mold and cast a giant dildo."
How was
And
your
I'm just like,
day? It was
"How
great.
was your day?" Yeah. Or I had to mold a giant ear canal so that one of the actresses could get covered in blood and then pop out of said ear canal. Like, I, I just want to like, and then their partner probably by now probably goes, "Okay, that's awesome, nice."
You're like, wow. Yeah, they're like just used to it. They're like, your
Yeah,
job is insane. Honestly, that'd be so fun though. Be like, yeah, I just made like a
it'd be
giant
so
dildo on set
good.
today.
Yeah, that's what you did all day was just, and then can you imagine transporting that thing though?
Oh my
Like, we
god.
got to put it in the van now. Like what?
Oh man.
Oh,
I love that. That's when I like, and then like I love the fact that like and it's also just like right in your face too, like in the
oh yeah,
show.
yeah.
I was like, wow, this is this is not family friendly. Not that I ever thought it was, because we all know it's definitely not. It's just like, it's just right there. And I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
very in
it's
your
very
face, and you're like,
interesting. It's very
"Whoa."
interesting, but I definitely liked it. It was fun.
Yes.
It was
My
fun seeing like the
favorite
college aspect of like soups.
yes, and, like, it was kinda cool because we found out that A Train was a graduate, right? I'm pretty sure it was A
Mm-hmm.
Train.
And the
Um,
deep, right? Or the
and the
deep went
Deep.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kinda cool to see, like, their alumni, made it
Mm-hmm.
into big stuff like the Seven, so it's kinda cool to see that there's a connection there.
And then we get the crossover, so we get
Yes.
Soldier Boy.
Oh my gosh, his appearance in this season was my favorite thing about this whole
Honestly,
show.
yeah. Yeah.
Soldier Boy Jensen is literally just the best. Like, no matter what he is in, it is Jensen's world now. Like, and I love that he was just like a memory, basically.
Mhm.
But I mean, I love that he's like super aggressive when he meets the kids in uh, Kate's mind. It's just like, what are you motherfuckers doing here? And I'm just like, oh my god. And then when he's talking about Kate's past and how he was her superhero crush, and I'm like, I'm right there with you, Kate. I am
Like
100%
same.
right there with you.
Same.
Oh, it was so
Yeah,
good.
honestly, Soldier Boy in in the last season of The Boys and like this like little bit of when we got in Gen V, s-
Mhm.
the best part of the show
Oh
easily.
my gosh, yes.
And we get Homelander, we get a little
I
bit
was
of
about to say,
Homelander
yeah, we
too.
get a little bit of Homelander. My favorite thing though, because he like, drops down in from the sky. The
Mhm.
behind the scenes for that particular scene I love because it's Anthony Starr getting hoisted up, right? And normally
Oh, I
they
think I
only
have
hoist
seen
him up.
that.
Yeah, they normally only hoist him up like a little bit so he can like drop down and land. But somebody was like, nope, we're cranking him all the way up. And he's like freaking out because he just doesn't do heights. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think I have seen that one. That is
Yeah. And
funny.
he's just like, ha ha, fuck you guys. As he's getting hoisted higher and higher into the air.
Oh gosh, I am really excited to see where The Boys picks up.
Yes.
Like
I
with
kind of
all of
hope it's
everything
like,
happening.
yeah, I wonder if they'll backtrack just a little bit just so we can see like the other side of people breaking out of like the mental hospital kind of thing.
Mhm.
Or if they'll do what Gen V did and just pick up right where Gen V left off. Just like
Yeah.
mere
Right,
seconds,
like
be
right
like,
the end
bam,
of it.
go.
Mhm.
hmm So it'll
Yeah.
be interesting to see. Also, we get a lot of oh gosh. Is her last name Newman, the one that's running for
Oh yeah. Yeah, Newman.
senator? I thought it was fun that we got to see more of her and that we got to see more of her powers because they are the same as Marie's. They're both
Mhm.
blood based
They're both yeah.
superpowers, which is crazy because we really haven't seen a whole lot of people that have the same powers. Like every soup we've seen so far has a different set of powers. So it was interesting to see two people that had the same power and how they control it differently. And thus that was the more blood was because we've got two superheroes with blood based powers.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of blood.
Yeah, Marie's backstory was so tragic. I knew she was going to end
Mhm.
up accidentally killing somebody, but she literally killed both of her parents. And I'm like, "Oh, in the bathroom
Yeah.
when she got her
And her sister
period."
had to watch everything.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's horrifying." It's hard enough being a girl getting your period, but to
Oh yeah, I couldn't even
accidentally
imagine.
kill your oh my gosh, no, poor thing.
Yeah, and then I do think it was interesting like cuz Kate like even though Kate kind of played like both sides,
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting her kind of perspective on it to because she was like, well, your parents did that to you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it sucks you killed your parents, but
But they're the ones
they
that gave
also
you the V,
yeah.
so
Yeah, they're the ones that needed to make that quick buck, so they gave you compound V.
mhm.
Um so I thought that was interesting because it kind of made you think like, "Oh, well, I mean, like this is all just like the consequences of
Of
people
your
being
parents'
greedy."
actions. Yeah.
Yeah, because they needed, wanted to make that dollar. So, and I kind of like that they showed that like kind of throughout the show.
Mhm.
like consequences of like greed, and you know, they touch on like the fame aspect of it. So I thought
Yeah.
that was super interesting with the show. And then like
Y
I thought the Kate, like her storyline was super interesting because I literally could not tell if I liked her or didn't like her throughout the show.
Yes,
I was like,
exactly.
okay, I like you. No,
Back
I
and
actually don't
forth.
like you.
Mhm.
Okay, no, you're not that bad. Wait, actually, I hate you. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I like her or not.
Yeah, and she has like one of those faces where you could see her being like the evil one on the bad side,
Mm-hmm.
but also she has those big doe eyes, so when she wants to look innocent, she looks super innocent. And
She
I was
kind
just
of
like,
reminds me of God, what is her name? Is it Emma Roberts
yeah, from
in An American Horror Story? That's what she
mhm.
kind of reminds me of. That's what I kind of
Yes.
like kept thinking when I was watching it, because she's
Yeah.
kind of like, well, she kind of like they kind of have the same
They have the same vibe
like,
for sure.
yeah, and
And the same like their face is very similar. Cuz
yeah, where
again,
and then they can
yeah.
be like super sweet or like definitely super bitchy.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Yeah, so like, cuz when she first appeared, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like, because she's like with the popular
The
group,
popular
and she was with
guy
Luke,
and
and
yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's like the typical whatever. And then like Luke killed himself, and then it was like,
I
wow,
know. Jeez Louise. That was crazy.
just like, just yeah, that was all crazy with the forest. Was it what they call it? The
Yeah,
fort, is that what it was called?
I think so. Something like
The
that.
forest. Um, I did a set like I will say I thought that the like zombie outbreak, kind of like giving them this disease thing and then
Mm,
just like
mhm.
sending it out. I was like, that's never gonna work. That's a pretty
Yeah.
stupid idea, actually. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how you think it's gonna be like, oh yeah, perfect. Let's just let out this mass deadly disease. Perfect. Let's do that.
Yeah. And
How did you think that conversation
and
was
it'll
gonna go?
be just for the superheroes. And I'm like, you really think that it's gonna be just for the superheroes? I feel like
Yeah,
more
exactly.
people than just the superheroes will get infected. So maybe
Yeah,
not
I'm
do
like, how did
that.
you how did you think that this was just gonna be like they were just gonna be on board with that? Like when she was
Yeah.
showing
They're like, it's fine. That's great.
yeah,
Do
when
it. Go.
I'm like
Like,
I'm like, this is not a good idea.
no.
Nobody is gonna think this is a good idea. Like,
You're like, who gave you the green light for this? Who told you that this was going to be the idea of the century? Like, no, this is not
yeah.
the way to get rid of superheroes. I will say, because I feel like we haven't talked about Jordan, who is
Oh
the
yeah.
one
Mhm.
that can flip between being a guy and a girl.
Yeah.
And when they first appeared, I was like, ugh, I wasn't sure how that was going to go. I feel like it was going to be very in your face and very political and very
Mhm.
like you need to be accepting of everybody, like strangle you with that message. And I'm like, this is going to be really annoying. And I'm not going to lie, Jordan was annoying at first, but I think
Yeah.
that was because the flipping back and forth. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that's a lot to handle. And then trying to keep track of everything else. But after a while, once everything kind of like settled in, I didn't find them as annoying as I thought I was going to be. They actually ended up being one of my kind of favorite characters of the bunch.
Mhm.
um and I definitely like their connection with the one, was it the he's a professor, right?
Yeah,
That
the
they were
professor.
like the
Yeah.
TA for and stuff, and that the
Mhm.
professor was like really like on their side, and you can be a really good superhero, just keep going. And so I liked their backstory in particular. It was a very, for being kind of tragic and not having a good relationship with their parents, their backstory was actually very like positive.
Mhm.
Like
And I
to
do
they
like
were
that.
Mhm.
Um, sorry, I didn't mean to, like, just,
No, you're fine.
I'm like, "I gotta get this out before I forget." I do I do like that, Marie and, um like, how they kind of hated each other in the beginning, and it was
Mhm.
like they and then at the end, um,
They
were,
get
like, in
together as
love.
little enemies
Yeah.
to lovers kind of
Yes! Ah,
situation.
beautiful trope. We
So
love an enemies to
cute.
lovers.
Yeah. And I love that it wasn't like super slow burn, but it was
Mhm.
slow enough that you could see the change in attitude towards the other. And I did like at one point that Jordan thought Marie only wanted them as a dude, but Marie could care less what form they were in. She just likes them as they are. And so I did like that we got to see both Jordan and Marie kind of struggle with that. So we got
Mhm.
to see Jordan kind of figure out that Marie didn't care, and then Marie had to somehow get it through Jordan's thick skull that it doesn't matter. I don't care what form you're in, but I like you as you are, but do you like me as I am? With all my jacked up superpowers and backstory. So I wasn't sure if I was gonna like them getting together or anything like that, but they're literally the cutest ever.
Yes.
And I love that for
100%
them.
ship them. Them
Yes.
and Sam and Emma.
Oh my
10 out of 10.
gosh. So cute.
We love Sam.
I do love Sam. I'm very sad though that his brother is now dead. And
Yeah.
it's just like, oh man. I also like that Andre, his dad is a soup. I like
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
And because we don't really see that either. The only kind of thing we've seen in that retrospect, the closest would be that Homelander
Homelander and his
is
son, yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it. So it was actually kind of cool to see Andre and his dad, especially because his dad is a well-known soup,
Yeah.
and he's in the soup scene. He's never been a part of the Seven, but he's definitely a very well-known superhero. So it was fun to see because I mean he's basically famous. So to see Andre's kind of struggle with living up to his dad's reputation, but also kind of
Mhm.
wanting to do his own thing.
Do his own thing, yeah, like, make his own name for himself.
Yeah. And I like that Andre still kind of had that set of skills of like schmoozing and talking to the right people because that kind of helped them along their journey throughout this season.
Mhm.
Also, just Chance Perdomo, I think is how you say his last name. I loved him in the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. So when I found out he was going to be in a spinoff show for the boys, I was so excited.
You're like, "Absolutely. 10
I
out of
was like,
10."
yes, 10 out of 10. I will be watching. I also loved that Alexander Calvert, who plays Jack in Supernatural, was also in this show as Rufus. Completely polar opposite character because in Supernatural, he's just this little sweet bean that you want to protect at all costs. He's just a little sweet baby angel. And then in freaking Gen V, I just want him to just face plant into the dirt because he's such. Oh my gosh, he drives me insane. But his superpower
Wait,
was kind of cool.
who is it again?
It's the bleach blonde dude, Rufus. He's the
Oh,
one.
yeah. He's a telepath, so he
Yeah,
was,
that's what it was.
like, basically like Kate, but not as crazy.
Yeah, and he definitely didn't use his powers for anything good or for the benefit of anybody besides himself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He's the one that gets his dick cut off.
Yeah, Marie explodes it.
Yeah.
I was like, "Honestly, good for you. Like,
Yeah.
good for you. That is a great way to use your power." Like, you didn't kill him, but you
No.
definitely fucked his day up.
Yeah.
Like, or his life, I guess, forever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you'd fix that. Like, she literally exploded it.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
It
That
was
was a good
so
scene.
good. Yes, it was.
Isn't that when she learned that she can, like was that when she learned? Because she learned that she can control, like, blood inside the body, right? Because she
Yeah,
was only able to do it, like, outside for a
outside.
while. Mhm.
Yeah, because she always had to, like, cut her hands open and then use her own blood, but yeah, I think at that point, she was, like, under so much duress that she just
She
exploded
just
his dick. And she was like, "Oh, dang, I didn't know I could do that."
She's like, "Ooh, whoops, my bad." Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, that was great. That was a great use of her powers.
Yes, it was.
There there's just there's, like, so much in the show too because everybody has their own backstories, and
Yeah, they
it's
did
a
a
lot to
lot
keep
of,
up
like,
with.
character building in this first season, like, we
Mhm.
really get to know who these characters are and where they
Yeah.
come from, so that's why I hope in the next season of The Boys that at least some of them are in it, because I'd like to see
Yeah.
them interact with the boys in particular, and so we've already kinda seen them interact with Homelander and a few other people, but it would be really cool to see them interact with like Billy or Frenchie or even Kimiko would be a cool one. Um, but yeah, they did a lot of like groundwork for this show.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. I I'm so excited. I'm so ready. I'm so ready for the boys to be out. I hate waiting. I don't like this feeling, Jamie. It's not
And
fun.
you've been in it shorter than I have,
I
so
know. I'm like, this is why I
this is
have
why you don't
FOMO
catch up
so
on
bad.
stuff.
Yeah, but like at the same time, I'm like, then I just have to then I'll binge it and then I just have to wait. And
Yep.
then what?
Then you just wait and wait and wait and wait and wait.
Like I remember when Stranger Things came out, I think I watched it in like a day and a half. And then I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay, now what? Like at least last season they split it up into two parts, so like I didn't have to wait as long, but I was like, man, this is what do I do now?
Yeah.
But like you also have to because the internet is a spoiling ass place.
Oh my gosh, literally when I'm trying to like if I'm waiting for a show and I have to go to work the day it premieres, I literally don't look on any social media cuz I'm like,
Yeah,
nope,
exactly.
I can't
Like I
see
don't want to.
a single thing cuz I will always see the one piece of information that I wanted to avoid so much because I want to be shocked or surprised or very happy when certain things happen and then the internet's just like here it is and I'm like, "No, I
Yeah,
wanted to
they're like
build
it's in
up
your
to
face.
that." Yeah.
Exactly. I want to experience it on my own time with my own
Yes.
self, not on the internet. Leave me. That's how I feel literally every week like when like a new episode of Jujutsu Kaisen would come out. I'd be like, "All right, let's see what I need to
Mhm.
avoid today because um I don't want it to be spoiled for me. Thank you."
Yeah.
I do wanna say that I definitely thought that Luke was gonna be a bigger character than he was.
Yes, I did
I
too. Cause
definitely
he's
was
like
expecting him to be, like, the next Homelander of, like, the school,
yeah,
basically. I was,
yeah.
like, fully expecting him to be a lot more in it than he was because it was, like wasn't it, like, the first or second episode?
Yeah, he wasn't I feel like it was, like, the 2nd episode, but I thought I knew Marie was gonna be the main character
Yeah.
that we would be
Mhm.
following her adventure, but I honestly thought Luke would, again, be more in it and be almost like a hindrance to her. Like,
Yeah.
he would just be in her way, so it'd be, like, her trying to make her path, but him stepping in front of her, like, at every turn kind of thing, and then, he dies. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
You're like, "Okay, well."
yeah,
And it was very brutal how he died because he, like,
yeah,
exploded himself
yeah,"
in
and
front
it was
of
very
everybody.
public. Yeah.
Very public. I did like Kate's powers. Like, that's a pretty crazy superpower, I feel like, to
Yeah.
just be able to control literally anyone. I did like that she kinda had limitations on it, though,
Mhm.
because, like, she can only do so much before she gets, like, fucked up.
Yeah.
So she just can't keep controlling people.
Yeah, like, she has to take a break at some point,
Yeah.
otherwise she will die.
But I did think it was crazy that she just, like, wiped everybody's minds, basically, for the
Yeah, and,
last,
like,
like,
multiple
however
people.
long. Yeah. And they just don't remember anything. I'm like,
But it
"Dang,"
kinda
and then
sucks because
she's
she
like,
remembers
"Okay, now you remember
everything.
everything." Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and the emotional trauma they all go through from when she's, like, suddenly like, "Here's all your memories back," and they're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god."
Literally, like, all at I could oh my god, all at once, like, just having to be like,
Yeah.
w I'd be like, "Do not ever do stay away from me, you psycho."
Yeah.
I like,
Yeah,
"Do
and
not get
then
near anywhere near me."
it'd be so hard to tell what's real and what's not too. Like, what is a
Yeah.
real memory?
Mhm.
What is a fake memory? What did she put in there? What was already there? Like, I would be so confused for so long.
These poor traumatized kids.
I know. They just wanted to go to superhero college and be really good superheroes.
Yeah, but,
That was the
not
other
in
thing I
this
kinda
universe.
yeah. So one thing I kinda like though is n nobody seemed necessarily to be out for themselves. Like, some of them wanted to do it for, like, a bit of fame or a bit of recognition, but for the most part, most of them wanted to do it to help people and to,
Yeah,
like, get out of the trenches, basically, so,
but
that was
not
really
in
cool.
this
Or
universe, Jamie.
no, I
We th
know.
if you wanna do that, you gotta go to Marvel, okay? Um, Marvel, they actually wanna help people.
Yeah.
This place, I don't even know what's going on. It's all about the money and the fame.
Yeah, yeah, and I feel like the college perspective is really interesting because I feel like just a general college mindset is you're here to learn and to get better and to, like, just contribute to the world, but because soups are so jacked up and it's very much a business, you kinda see where everybody can kind of be super self-absorbed and very much about themselves and not actually care about the job of being a superhero, but just being the face of superheroes kinda thing, so
Yeah,
it's a
like,
very
not
fun
wanting to
to
do
play
the
with.
yeah. Well, and I think it was interesting too to see, like, because we have, like, Emma and Marie who are like, roommates to
Mhm.
friends. And, like, Emma definitely is like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be, like, a big time superhero, I'm just trying to get famous on the internet."
Mhm.
Um, and Marie's like, "No, I wanna help people, I've destroyed my family."
Yeah.
Um, all of that, like, Emma definitely had, like, a fucked up background too, don't get me wrong, but, like, it was interesting because she's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna be famous on the internet," which, honestly, same girl, same.
Yeah. I also for Emma in particular, I the one thing I did, which I found very stereotypical, but also, I mean, I guess like I've said before, somebody has to be stereotypical somewhere. That her mom was kind of the driving force behind her wanting to be internet famous and wanting to present herself a certain way and meet certain people and stuff like that. And I like that when she was in college and away from her mom, she started making her own choices and kind of
Mhm.
Marie helped her realize that maybe this isn't the direction she wants to go. Maybe she wants to do this instead, kind of thing, which honestly is a very true college experience. You get
Yeah.
new ideas and new perspectives and all this from all people from all different walks of life. So I did like her kind of slightly eye-opening experience in college,
Mhm.
especially when she gets stuck with a roommate like Marie who comes from literally nothing. She was in a group home. She's got no parents. She doesn't know where her sister is. And she's trying to dig herself out of the trench of being the like low rung superhero. So it was cool to see. their dynamic and how they changed each other.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think that's pretty much it. You have anything else? Any other thoughts? Besides the fact that we need season 4 of The Boys right now.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm just ready for season 4 of The Boys. Um, they didn't tell us when. Like, they just said 2024, right? We didn't
Yeah.
get like a month or anything.
No, I know.
Ugh.
I think a couple of the seasons have premiered during the summer. And then I think one
Oh.
season premiered in the fall. So I would imagine summer's probably the
It's like the worst
soonest
time
we
for
would get
TV
it.
too, because nothing's on. Like everything's doing their like winter breaks. Like nothing is on
Mhm.
TV right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to watch some good shows.
Yeah, I think we
But
probably would have
I'm
gotten it earlier if it wasn't for the strike, because the
yeah.
strike
Hmm.
pushed their. Because, I mean, the strike went on long enough that Carl Urban went home to New Zealand because he was like, well, we're not going to be filming, so I might as well go home. So they have to, I don't know. I think they've started filming already, but I think they still got quite a ways to go. So I would imagine July would be the absolute earliest we'd get it, which is too far,
Yeah,
honestly.
it is too far. I would want it now, but it's fine. I'll just keep looking at all of the Homelander memes that come up on my Instagram, and that'll just hold me over until the meantime.
Yeah, I loved you posted one today about all the Arizona people getting ready for your 2 weeks of winter,
Yeah.
and it's Homelander going, oh, like,
I was like, honestly, same. Same. I love a good like Homelander meme. They're so good.
oh my gosh, so good. Well, that is it for this episode. We are very excited for season 4 of The Boys. I think The Boys is only going to go up to season 5, if I remember correctly. So
Oh,
we're
no.
we're getting near the end. We are
We're
excited
nearing the
because
end.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan is on next season, and
Oh,
he
can't wait.
is
Oh my gosh.
spectacular. So I can't wait to see what added level of messed up evil connivingness he adds to the show. And he's definitely, I know his character is going to freaking stir the pot. So
Oh,
we're excited
absolutely.
to
And
see
this is the end
him
of our yeah, this is going to be the end of our boys saga for at least until
for
season
now.
4. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't forget to follow us on all of the social medias. We post relatively regularly now. Um, And don't forget to subscribe to us here on Spotify. Our podcast is up every Tuesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And oh, don't forget to rate us. 5 stars is
Yes.
preferable.
If
Um,
you enjoy us and you want to hear us talk more and put more stuff out,
yeah,
give us 5 stars. If you think that we're super cool and we're real fun and we're real funny
yeah,
because we are funny,
because
um,
we are hilarious.
because we're hilarious. Um, if you think we're as funny as we think we are, give us 5 stars.
Yeah. Also, on our social medias or somewhere down below, send us recommendations of things to watch, movies, television, music to listen to. We are always kind of putting our feelers out there. Casey and I are very much the same when it comes to like the cycle of I'm going to rewatch all of my comfort shows and then
Mhm.
maybe occasionally watch something new. So this podcast has helped us branch out both into things that like
Yes.
I'm interested in and she's interested in, and it's cool to see because we're similar but also very different. So
And
give
this
us
is like the first
things.
time we've actually like done this, like
Mhm.
kind of because we have some similar liking stuff, but
Mhm.
this is the first time
Mhm.
we've done like lots of crossovers with
Yes.
our interests.
Yes. So leave us recommendations, send us things our way. We're always on the lookout. We both are constantly connected to our phones, but we miss things all the time.
Hmm.
So send us things, subscribe to all the things, follow us everywhere, And we will see you guys in the next episode. So goodbye.
Bye.